David here with Figboot on Pens, back again with a very special fountain pen review and a giveaway. What makes it special? Well, lots of things, but what I have for you today is a very interesting custom pen from Shawn Newton of Newton Pens. What I'm going to do today is go over the parts and features of this custom pen, talk about what I care for and what I don't care for about it. I'll show some measurements, size comparisons, and provide a writing sample. And stay tuned to learn how you can enter for the chance to win this very pen I will be reviewing, courtesy of Shawn Newton, who provided this pen for me to review and to give away to one of you. It's a pen that has a retail price of over $400, so I believe it was like $425 or $450 or something like that. So it's a very nice prize. Shawn Newton is a talented pen maker out of Hot Springs, Arkansas. Shawn started his career as a teacher. He enjoyed fountain pens and decided it might be fun to start making his own pens. He ended up selling off most of his personal collection to purchase pen making equipment and began turning pens on his own. He'd ask his fellow teachers to nominate students that he felt were deserving for recognition, and he would make them each a custom pen. He even ran Kickstarter campaigns where when you ordered a pen, a second pen was given to a deserving student. Over time, Shawn developed a name for himself in the fountain pen circles, and maybe like 8 or 9 years ago, he left his teaching job to make pens full-time. But his passion for education continues in a very cool scholarship program that I'll discuss here in a bit. But first, let's take a look at a pen. This is the Newton Ohm. It was a custom design requested by one of Shawn's customers. Shawn made a prototype, and then he had a number of other customers express an interest in the pen. So including the prototype, a total of 11 were made. But this is not a numbered limited edition. 2 of the pens were a bit larger, and the rest were identical to this pen here, which is categorized as a medium-sized pen. I will say that it's rather large for a medium pen, however. The theme of this pen is Ohm, which is the prime symbol of Hinduism. The pen is made from a resin created by Bob Dupress, who does some very nice resin work. It's a colorful palette of greens and blues and reds and yellows, and a few other colors thrown in there for good measure. I kind of like that there's no distinguishable pattern to the resin. It's kind of beautiful in its haphazardness, if that makes sense. The key design element of this pen is the Hindu symbolism. Let's start by taking a look at the top of the cap. It's inlaid with a sterling silver Ohm symbol. All of the trim on this pen is custom cast sterling silver. This transitions into this interesting clip, which is a representation of the Ohm trident with 3 points that symbolize the Hindu trinity of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Now, I'm going to go off on a bit of a detour here, but Shawn Newton does a really great job of taking a vision or a theme and turning it into a pen. For example, he had a customer who wanted a pen themed for the hockey team, the Washington Capitals. And here's how that pen turned out. It has a custom red, white, and blue resin, which are the colors of the team, and he created a custom sterling silver roll stop of the team's eagle logo. Several years ago, I commissioned Shawn to create a custom theme pen for me as well. It is a little painful to talk about this, but I was a big fan of the San Diego Chargers football team, and I wanted a Chargers themed pen, to carry around with me on game day. I worked with Shawn, giving him some ideas of what I was looking for, and he came up with some ideas and suggestions of his own. I wanted the resin to represent the uniform colors, and the key element would be the lightning bolt clip. When the pen was complete, he provided me with these drawings, which are really cool. It's something I'd almost frame as a little addition to my pen. And then here is what the pen ended up looking like. It is huge and gaudy and exactly what I requested. I think it really turned out perfect. Unfortunately, about 2 weeks after receiving this pen, the Chargers actually moved to Los Angeles and left a deep black hole in my heart and a deep-seated hatred for the current owners of the team for abandoning San Diego. I used to live and die rooting for the team, and I really hate that the owners took that passion away from me. Rooting for them after they betrayed the city just kind of seemed wrong. Now, I still watch most of the games, but the passion is gone, and all of my t-shirts and jerseys and hats and tchotchkes like that have all been put in a box in the attic and not touched since the team moved. Okay, that's enough of a sidetrack. Let's actually get back to the pen at hand. The cap is straight until you reach the sterling silver cap band, which again is custom made and encircled with the ohm sign. There's a fairly large step down to the barrel, which is straight for about the first inch and a half before slowly tapering down. Then on the end is another insert with the ohm symbol, similar to the one on the top of the cap, but just a little bit smaller. The cap twists off in a rotation and a half, and underneath we have a stainless steel number 6 JoWo nib engraved with the ohm symbol. And here's a look at the plastic feed. The section is very slightly concave. It angles up to the cap threads and the remainder of the barrel. The pen is plenty long enough to use unposted. The cap does post, and it does post securely, but with the fair amount of silver in the cap, it does add a bit of heft to it, so I feel posting really adds a bit of unnecessary length and weight to the back of the pen. I've preferred to use this pen unposted. This is a cartridge converter pen. It accepts standard international cartridges and a converter is provided. With no metal parts in the section and the barrel being a solid piece of resin, you could eyedropper this pen if you so choose, maybe with an O-ring and some silicone grease here. I think it's an interesting and very well thought out and well executed theme for a pen. I don't practice the Hindu religion, but the symbolism of this pen doesn't bother me as much as other religious symbolism might. I've enjoyed my time playing around with this pen, so don't feel you need to be a practicing Hindu in order to get some enjoyment and appreciation out of this pen. Now, a couple of things. I mentioned the Newton Scholarship Program. Shawn was recently featured on the local news about this program. He oversees a scholarship program which over the years has given tens of thousands of dollars to worthwhile high school students to go toward their college education. It's really a worthwhile program which has helped out lots of kids heading off to college. Shawn will have special pens he puts up on sale on eBay where 100% of the proceeds go toward the scholarship fund. On his site, he sells postcards containing artwork from the students as well. In the past, he's run monthly raffles on his site where the winners receive a pen as well. And in the end, like I said, tens of thousands of dollars have been raised for scholarships. Okay, in regard to the giveaway for this very nice pen valued at around $450, there is a link below to a Google form where you can enter your name, email address, and answer an optional question. How about you let me know a little bit about an influential teacher in your life? It's always nice to hear about people who have had an impact on your life. I was going to say that if you made a donation to the scholarship fund, you could win some additional chances to win the pen, but I believe in the legal sense, that would turn this giveaway into a lottery where technically you are purchasing additional chances to win, which falls under an entirely different realm of a giveaway. I know other folks who have had issues when they did the same type of thing. While you will not earn any additional chances to win this pen, I still encourage you to donate to the scholarship fund if you so choose. It's really a worthwhile cause where 100% of the money is going directly to students. I'll put a link in the notes below to the Newton website where you can check this out. 72 hours after the posting of this video, I will select a winner at random and email you at the address you provided. Just a reminder, there are ne'er-do-wells on YouTube who will create a profile with my picture and a name similar to mine who will inevitably reply to your comment, asking you to contact them on a third-party app or say that you need to send them money in order to claim your prize. Please do not fall for their scams. I will contact the winner directly via email and not via YouTube comment. And then also, finally, please understand that you might have it set up where YouTube will email you if someone replies to your comment. Please realize that this is different than someone emailing you directly. When doing contests, I will always have a few folks that get confused about that and they think that they won. It's not fun when I have to email someone who's really excited and tell them that that was not the case. I want to be the bearer of good news, not bad. Okay, that's enough housekeeping. Now it's time for some measurements, size comparisons, and a writing sample. Here we go with some size comparisons for the Newton ohm. I wanted to give you another look at this resin. I just think that it's just a really interesting color. And like I said, that I think it looks nice in its haphazardness about all of the colors mixed together. And then it just has some really nice elements to it in regard to the ohm sign. And then here on the end as well. In regard to my charger pen, just so you can see how large that is, that just barely even fits in the screen. You know, if you are a charger fan, I would be willing to potentially sell this pen. So if you made an offer, if it was going to a good home, I potentially would sell that, just because I honestly really haven't used it, because after the team left that I just couldn't stand using it anymore. But in regard to size comparisons for a couple other pens, here it is with a Lamy All-Star. And then here it is with a Parker Dual Fold Centennial Big Red. And in regard to a couple of other pens, here it is with a Sailor Pro Gear and a TWSBI Eco. And then finally, here it is with a Pelikan M805. In regard to uncapped comparisons, here it is with that Duo Fold. Then here it is with the Pelikan M805. And then here it is with the Lamy All-Star. Here we go with the writing sample for the Newton Ohm. And this is a medium stainless steel nib. And the ink that I chose for this pen is from Ferris Wheel Press. And it's one of my favorite inks of theirs, which is Royal Rhubarb. This is what the ink looks like. It's just a nice kind of solid purple. It's very similar to Califolio and Ternopil. And then this is what it looks like with Colorverse Andromeda, which has a lot more sheen and shading to it. This is what the smaller 38 milliliter bottles look like for a Ferris Wheel Press. You know, this is very narrow neck, and I'm always just very worried that I'm going to tip this over. So I wish that they were designed slightly different. I do care for their larger bottle design, which is more of a ball, but it does have the same narrow neck. But the larger one, at least I feel, isn't going to fall over. And here we go with the rest of the writing sample. That this nib is very nice, that Shawn does a really good job of tuning his nibs. The ink flow on here is rather generous. There's not a lot of line variation that you're going to get, but like I mentioned, the ink flow on here is rather generous. In regard to reverse writing, it's fairly smooth. And in regard to some fast writing, the ink flow keeps up just fine. So there we have the Newton Ohm. If you are looking to have a custom pen created with a custom theme of your own design, I would strongly recommend Shawn. He does a great job of that. Don't forget to leave the information that you need to in order to win this very pen. And then also consider donating to his scholarship fund. The money is really going towards a very good cause. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.